Have you ever tried using muted colours to create flowers for a project? Today I have two fun ways to do just that. Hi there, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and I've got the Craft Your Life project kit here from Old to New, and this is called Lush Garden. Comes with a layering stamp set, coordinating dies, and there are actually two stencil sets, but I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, and a 3D embossing folder. It's a beautiful set, and I've got two card examples I want to share with you today, so you better get started. I decided today that I thought it'd be fun to use some muted tones on my card designs. I always head for the bright and bold, and I wanted to challenge myself. I don't very often do the pastel style colours either, so this is kind of heading into those scary places for me. But what I thought is keep away from the black and the bold outlines. So what I have here is a layering stencil. So this is the simple colouring stencil that coordinates with the set, and that's one of the best things about these project kits is that everything coordinates really well and they look fabulous together. But this particular little group of flowers, I thought I'd do it in the, this is the Tranquility combination of colours, and they're like a muted grey blue, and these flowers are going to be in the background, and I did all 4 layers. And one of the tricks I do here is use my post-it notes to actually mask off the areas of the stencil I don't want to colour, and I don't lift them up in between the layers. I simply just pick up my stencil and move that around instead. It's a bit of a time saver. Therese tip number 1 today. Next, I want to create some flowers to go on this card design. I have the layering stamps from the set, but I'm not using all of the layers here. I'm not using a base layer, which I could have done by actually colouring through the stencil itself. I actually wanted to have some really sort of soft muted tones here, so I'm not even using the outline of the flower. I could have stamped it in a colour, like one of the colours of my layers. If I needed to do that, that would still make it kind of hidden, but I would normally or typically stamp it out in black, and today I didn't want to do that. I wanted this to look really subtle and pretty. I don't know, I was in a pretty mood. And this isn't a normal combination of colours I use for my flowers. I've done, while I'm lining them up, which I'm doing with my Misty, I thought I might as well make all of my flowers at once, and I do that just by flipping my cardstock around. And the sort of yellowy, mustardy coloured ones are from the Nature's Wonders set, which is more like a leafy colour, but with these purples, which are from the Sugar Plum set, I think they look almost like a soft yellow, and they're really pretty. I also got some greens out here. This is the classic, what I like to call my classic greens from Old to New, and that's the frayed leaf and the forest glades, and I simply used the stencil and did my base colour with the lighter stamp, and then just stamped out the darker green with a block. So like I said, no dark colours today, except for in the layers of my flowers, but no bold black colours. I even did my sentiment in blue here, and I've die cut that out. That's actually from the Flower Vine stamp set, and I've die cut that out with one of the featured sentiments dies, which I use all the time. And I love that I can mix and match, and I like the fact, like having that really little sentiment in the bigger die cut. Let me know if you like that as well. I think that looks pretty amazing, but I don't know, maybe you think it gets a bit lost. So I did cut the panel down to fit the front of an A2 card, attach that to the front of that with some glue tape, and layered up all my flowers with some foam dots and adhesive and added a few gems. This is a really pretty card, and it could be used for so many different occasions. I think it'd make a really lovely sympathy card as well, or a wedding card too. My second design is actually easier, and this is the Lush Garden 3D embossing die. No, I knew I was going to muck that up. It's the Lush Garden 3D embossing folder. And I actually tend to use my manual die cutting machine to emboss these folders because I found that my mechanical one, like I have a Gemini Junior, just puts too much pressure and it can crack my cardstock a little bit sometimes. So it's just easier for me to get, because I kept my Big Shot. But you can use whatever machine you have and just use whatever sandwich suits yours. I usually just play around with it until I get it right, because I really actually do need to write it down so I can remember. But I think I actually had to run it through twice this time till I remembered which to do what where. I think I did it on tab 1, and that's not true. For my machine I need to do it on the tab 2 with one of the plates. So here I am showing you how I added my colour to this embossed cardstock, because I didn't show you at the beginning, but there is, like I said, a whole nother stencil set that comes with this, and I haven't got it, but it's a simple colouring stencil that coordinates with this embossing folder, and I can't wait for it to arrive because I want to see how much of a difference it makes using a stencil to add my colour to these embossed images. Whereas what I did here was use my detail blending brushes and added the colour fairly lightly and just came in with some of the darker tones, or use the same tone a second time just to add a bit of depth. And it didn't take very long at all. I think it looks really pretty. And I find that these brushes clean up really well. So in between colours I just simply used a paper towel off to the side and just clean the brush before I changed up my colours. And here I've got 4 layers of the water brush Hello die, just cut in some white cardstock. It's the Nina, which is the same that I've used for all my panels today, and I've layered that up with some liquid glue because I want to add that to the front of my card. I did cut my panel down. With this particular image, this embossed folder, I could have actually cut it and had it off to a side, up the top of my card design, down the bottom. I ended up wanting it to be more like the other card that I made and have the whole card front covered in flowers. And I did actually cut a little bit off the bottom there because I wanted to have my hello sitting just above that center flower, and I added a little hello and hugs stamped sentiment as well. So this is part of a hop, so don't forget to hop along. If you liked today's video, please click on the thumbs up button to let me know that you did, and if you haven't already, it'd be great if you could subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every visit you make here. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.